this is it. I don't know if everybody knew the 6 o'clock start.
I would guess
I'm guessing not, but, yeah, I think we did say at the last meeting it was 6.
Yes, we did.
So, okay, I guess there are questions on the proposed budget. Yeah.
a couple things. Not much, any increases in the appropriations for next year, but the attorney went up from 2,500 to 3,500.
Well, we've overspent this year
Well,
basically,
that's what
right?
I was gonna ask about.
Some of the reason, because the building buying a lot and stuff like that. And so we figured we'd increase appropriation just in case there's anything else that we're gonna have to have her to oversee the bidding and stuff like that. So, we're gonna have, I'm hoping no more than the 2,500, but if we don't budget it, we might better budget it as to come short. And whether it's over budgeting or whether it's, I guess it would be good planning, because, she's gonna have to do some more, viewing of the, setting up the bid requirements and all that. I mean, she's gonna be told by the engineer what they have to be, but I think she's gonna be putting it together for us. So that added expense is gonna, we don't want to keep robbing from the pipeline fund. That's got money in it, but this isn't really a pipeline, expense. So I think that's why we went to 3,500 instead of 2,500, just to, protect ourselves.
No, but you still got on here the adjustment for this year is 2,500, you're gonna spend more than that.
Well, I just got a bill I gave Paul yesterday for.
The adjusted is only adjusted because of what has happened, so
Today.
right. So as of that date, we had not gone over the 2,500.
But I just gave him a $1,900 bill, $1,700
I think your
bill.
total is more than that. The bill tonight is more than that.
Oh,
I
okay.
think there's 2 bills there.
2 bills, okay. So, I mean,
So it
that's,
will be higher than that,
Yeah.
yes.
No, it's
But the
I'm
adjusted
curious.
can't be adjusted until it happens.
because we didn't get the bills until after the proposed budget.
Okay,
Okay?
yeah,
Okay.
curious about that.
Yep. That was probably the easy one, now what? Is there anything else, or you said a couple things, and that was,
Oh,
not that I'm asking for
Yeah.
more, but,
well, the big elephant in the room is the town office next year, building the town office building. Now, obviously, you can't put it in the budget because you don't have
right.
hard numbers, but, just a little discussion, any idea about how much it's gonna cost and how we're gonna.
Well, we've got
pay for it?
building plans here. I know initially they were talking, $250 a square foot on, 2,600 square feet. If you do those figures, I think you're talking, $500,000 to $600,000. And I think, we really haven't got any figures on what the first floor. We're talking at this point of putting radiant heat in the floor.
Mhm.
Whether we break out the floor we have, because there's a couple bad spots, and take out and then put the foam in and go up from there, or we got 10-foot ceilings. You add just 6 inches of concrete, with the pipe, insulation and stuff, because I was told that's what it would take is 6 inches of, surface. Do you just add what we have and not tear everything out and, blow everything all
Because
out?
as you say, you got high ceilings there.
10-foot ceilings, instead of having a drop ceiling down 2 foot, maybe a foot or a foot and a half, or, whatever, maybe even not even a drop ceiling. But that's, and how much, we haven't got any clue on cost of it. They're talking about a frost wall out the front to extend it 10 feet out from the basement wall. And then if we put a frost wall out that far, we're actually adding 8 by 42. So that's 300 square feet, 320 square feet of space with a frost wall. Because it can be, part of that will be used as a lobby, and part could be added to the town clerk's office, or basically an 8 by 16 would be not a bad office room. You know, so, I mean, you know, and it would be cheap, 320 square feet of buildings for the frost wall and the walls. And then upstairs, you're gaining that 320 feet on that too for a little bit of nothing, you know, on the base. You know, I mean, it's just like over the county, they were talking on mental health. You know, what? 14,000 square feet, and then they were gonna, the wing was gonna be built for 2-story, but only built as one. And I brought the point up that, what would it cost to put a second floor on there right away? Figures out about $125 a square foot. And instead of the $400 a square foot they're figuring the building at. So it's 4,100 square feet they're talking for 475,000. So, I mean, it's cheap storage, cheap expansion. And how I thought about that was back when they built the jail. That was built for 2 stories, so they could expand. But if you're expanding, you gotta empty the jail. Because you can't work over top, so really, if you're not doing it right the first time, there's no sense doing it right the second. The second time is gonna cost you way too much. So that's our thought on that, and we haven't got any cost factors on it yet, Brian. That's what this winter's gonna be, pulling our hair out and pulling our teeth out and scaring the hell out of us. But I'm hoping it's gonna be coming in between 300,000 and 400,000. It's stupid amounts, but it's, if we get a building that's got, how many square foot? 2,800, 3,000 square feet of space, you'll be talking, you know, $125 to $150 a square foot instead of $250 a square foot. Oh, okay, I mean, Donnie went back and got the plans. These are some proposed plans that the engineering firm told us to look at. And that's where we're spinning our wheels right now. Well, I'd love to get the frost wall and everything in this fall. And that way in the spring, when they want to start building, it's ready. That's my hope. And I did, this isn't a money factor thing. The only place for our driveway is where it is. We can't put it anywhere else. The access to the lot. Because of sight distance. So.
Is there any chance you might be able to persuade one of the people who have property on Round Top Road to give you an easement to put a secondary driveway through there? Because that would be a whole lot easier in winter.
Well, yes and no. Well, yes it would be and no it would be, because you're going to be coming down to the town office instead of going up to the town office.
Is there anything else on the budget, through the budget hearing?
Oh, yeah.
We can close that,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else for the budget? If not, we will close the public hearing on the budget and move on to the regular meeting. And I guess first we will let Mark come in and we'll pledge allegiance to the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Sonia.
Okay, the regular meeting of the Franklin Town Board is called to order by Supervisor Jeff Taggart at 7:28 p.m. Present were Jeff Taggart, Garrett Sitz, David Brandt, Donnie Smith, Dwight Bruno, Mark Lane, and Paul Warner. The minutes were read from the September 3rd, 2019 meeting. Dwight Bruno made the motion to approve the minutes as read. Garrett Sitz seconded the motion. All present agreed. Deputy Fiscal Officer Paul Warner presented the preliminary budget for 2020. The increase is 1.96%. Garrett Sitz made the motion to accept the preliminary budget. Dwight Bruno seconded the motion. All present agreed. Copies will be in the town clerk's office. Amanda Groff presented the budget for the Recreation Commission, which is staying the same. Carol Jensen presented the Franklin Free Library budget, which is also staying the same. Mark Lang reported that they are buying a 2004 Mack with plow and sander, plus some other extras for $20,000 from Unadilla. Donnie Smith made the motion to pay the town of Unadilla the $20,000. David Grant seconded the motion. All present agreed. Mark also said that they were going to look at a 2009 Freightliner. The board agreed to go up to approximately $50,000 for it. The town garage needs a new garage door. They can get one from Hayes for $59.50 with everything included and installed. David Grant made the motion to purchase the door. Donnie Smith seconded the motion and all present agreed. Chip's bills will be in for December payment. Jeff reported the only thing before the planning board last month was a proposed Dollar General. The papers were signed for the land for town offices on September 24th, 2019. Some of the board members have met with engineers to discuss plans for the offices. There will be a public hearing for the preliminary budget on Wednesday, November 6th at 6 o'clock with a regular meeting to follow. Patty Taggart made a request to change the name of Stanley Road Spur to Eagles Way Road. Dwight Bruno made the motion to change the name and Donnie Smith seconded the motion. All present agreed. At 8:17, Garrett Sitz made the motion to go into executive session to discuss litigation. At 9:05, Garrett Sitz made the motion to return from executive session. The town clerk is in need of a new computer. Garrett Sitz made the motion to buy the new computer for the town clerk. Donnie Smith seconded the motion. All present agreed. With nothing further to come before the board, Garrett Sitz made the motion to adjourn at 9:15 p.m. David Grant seconded the motion. All present agreed.
Any additions or corrections? Was that amount right for the was it $59.50 for the door?
Yes, because I listened to the video
Okay.
today
Okay.
just to check myself so I can verify.
Okay, yes, I was thinking it was a little bit more than that.
No, that's what I said.
Good,
Somebody watched it, that's a good.
that's right.
I love that.
Okay, is there a motion?
Make motion.
Second.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Thank you. Okay. Now, Dwight, what's going on with it's really shut down for the winter now?
Yeah, we had our, unless something comes up, that
Right.
would pretty much be it.
Okay, okay. The planning board, of course, about the only thing that was on it, about Dollar General. I think that was the only thing, the planning board. And, see, Mark, he's getting his papers together.
You wanna go ahead and adopt the budget while you're waiting?
Okay. Is
Or
it-
entertain a motion?
Entertain the motion to adopt the budget as presented.
So moved.
Seconded.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Okay.
Oh, by the way, not that it makes any difference on that, I talked to Krista at the county today and I still haven't got a number for the fire district. And last year we didn't get a number until like, I think it was December 17th, she emailed me.
Okay.
So we don't know. I haven't got a budget, I assume they've done a budget, but
Well, you haven't
Did you get a
adopted the
budget?
budget yet.
No.
well, they haven't adopted a budget.
Next week, I think they do.
The fire district?
The
Yeah,
fire, the fire district.
They usually adopt it long before we do, I thought.
I don't think they have.
No. Okay. Maybe that's part of the problem. But she told me it's because of the, any litigation or whatever. She said the numbers are all gonna be linked this year because of, we have any lawsuits in either town, basically. Because Meredith is involved too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
To change the apportionment. I mean, the assessments were done July 1st. She told me first, she said, we don't have the assessments. I said, Krista, they're done July 1st.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. I said the apportionment. Oh, yeah, the apportionment. So, because because they get adjusted by rulings and court cases. And there's gotta be a cutoff, but I don't know what it is, because they've gotta have a certain amount of time to get their tax bills out, I would think.
Yeah. It's
Because I
always-
think they can make those retroactive, you know, the ruling can,
Right,
you know.
yeah, I'm not sure how that seems, whatever the reason, it always gets right down to last minute. It seems like the fire districts are a problem with everything.
She said it's not just our county, but she was talking to somebody in another county today that was having the same issue.
Yeah, it's across the board. Okay. Ready, Mark?
About as ready as I'm gonna get. First off, all that stuff, we put on Auctions International,
Oh, okay.
have to make a decision. Total funds it raised is $10,281. Mac was 6,000. Valvo was 2,600. Tractor was 1125. Bio furnace was 220. The compressor, $26. And set of screens out there, $310.
So I know the scrap is worth nothing at this time.
What was the compressor?
Personal opinion is, get it
Yeah,
out of
gone
here.
anyway.
It's just taking up room. We tried to, we advertised it local once, all this stuff, or not all this stuff, but the bio burner, the compressor,
Right.
and that stuff, so.
What's wrong with the Volvo? What's wrong with the Volvo?
Frame, shot. Motor, transmission rears are good, but,
It's not a lot of money.
no,
Would you say 2,600?
yeah. And the way scrap is right now.
And scrap is nothing.
What are the rears?
Rears they're okay, but the housing's about rotted through. And a good set of rears, I mean, as long as you aren't gonna run them constantly,
Nothing you'd pull out and put in something else.
No.
So the Mac, does that go with much equipment? Goes in a dump or the box?
Don't box. No.
So you keep the plow equipment basically with them?
We put the plow frame on it. Well, it got advertised without it, but we put it on it. The ones that come and look wanted that. I don't know who ended up getting it, but
Right, right.
that one won't fit anything else we got.
Anything else you got anyway, it's old enough.
We've got extras that we got
Right.
for some of those.
And you're keeping the other Volvo for the
That's got the better end.
better rears and better engine, better.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, what's the board think? The compressor is the one that you just replaced last year, a year and a half ago?
Yeah, and it didn't have the pressure regulator for, that was shot, so we didn't replace that. So
Right.
I was watching, there was other ones on there, same thing, same money, that didn't work. Of course, that one's three-phase, that was gonna throw
That's
everybody
gonna
off.
throw it. Put a kink in it. Well, what's the board think?
Run down the figures again, would you, Mark?
6,000 on the Mac, 2,600 on the Volvo, 1,125 on the tractor, 220 on the bio furnace, $26 on the compressor, and the screens, one set of screens was 310.
What was the tractor? What is this?
International, 2444, 1970.
There you go.
It's wrong color.
That's right.
It's yellow.
That's right, you
So
can add it to a
they could
collection.
go on anybody's fleet, it's yellow.
I don't think I'm eligible.
Does the mower go with it? No. Just a
No,
tractor.
Just tractor,
Just tractor.
Put them over, we put over on
Right,
it
yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Walkers?
That little tractor, I don't know.
I know they don't bring much, nothing like they used to.
No, no, they don't.
It's a gas job too.
It's a gas job.
You're not gonna get much more out of that.
I'll entertain a motion to dispose of the 6 things, is that what yours, Mark? The 2 trucks, tractor,
Two
compressor.
trucks, tractor.
I make the motion.
We have a second.
Yep.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Okay.
Carried.
All right, so it all goes.
Yeah. I'll free up some parking space.
Yeah, some garage space. So, CHIPS money, that's all in, everything is, I gotta send them a check, or a check I can't find. I know Paul gave it to me, but I sent a packet in and apparently they lost it and I forgot to make a copy of apparently that check. So, $250,425 on CHIPS money, $57,162 on Page New York, and $48,000 on Extreme Winter Recovery.
350,000.
Yeah, $356,172.10.
Any questions for Mark? Okay, where else we're going, right?
That's about it.
That's about it. I see you've been using the Mac from Unadilla. I've seen it go through town a little dirt or whatever.
Yeah, it seems to work good right now,
Good.
so, nice truck.
And the other one's just looking pretty out there.
Yeah, we haven't done much with that.
Oh, you have used it? Oh. Hopefully you don't use it too much tomorrow night, Friday. Hopefully you don't use any of the trucks.
Yeah, it'd be nice, I just left. That's what I was doing when golf ball. I didn't remember where the meeting was, guess I didn't remember the time either. I was watching the weather, they said that we could get up to 4 up on top of the hills.
Next Tuesday, still.
1 to 3 down here.
Next Tuesday, they expect the first storm. More snow on Tuesday, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
It's supposed to be like a high of 28, 29 all next week.
Nice.
Yeah, so. Our milk truck driver said he's heard 8 inches on Thursday night and Friday. I said,
I hope not.
I hope not.
I heard the same thing.
I gotta get off the hill because I got an
Yeah.
appointment to get my
That-
snow tires
that's
on
why you
Friday
don't-
morning.
That's why you don't get your hearing aids in.
They make it
You won't hear
down.
these things.
I know.
Okay.
We'll leave it down
Wish- Hope
overnight.
for the best, that's all we can do. Okay.
Yeah, by the way, congratulations to everybody on that.
Good deal.
Same to
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Report of the planning.
When's their, I heard they're having another meeting. They posted something for Mary Ann.
I think it's the 12th.
12th, yeah, at 6 o'clock.
For the
Yeah.
Dollar General.
Oh, that's the ZBA
Yeah.
meeting.
mhm.
That's what I have to make
It's
up,
a
yeah.
public,
Yeah, public hearing for-
What time is that supposed to be at?
6.
I guess they were asking for 3 variances, what I understood. I don't know what the third one, I've heard 2, I don't know what the third, one's parking, one's,
The big one, of course, is the thousand
Right.
foot, has to do with lot coverage and number of parking spaces.
I've heard the parking space, I don't know what that, the third one's a
Yeah,
lot
it's like-
coverage.
It's supposed to be 25, and they want to do 27, or vice versa. Those two are,
Right,
minor.
minor, yeah. Okay. Is there anything else? We got plans to look at, or we'll open it up, there's not much opening up to it. Other questions before we got plans from the engineers? And we can take a look at it, everybody can take a look at it, I believe. I would think anyway, there's not. no idea what they've come up with. I'll look at these, you can pass that.
I think they are the same, the way I understood it, I was trying to get down with Joders.
Okay.
It's just one's a bigger than the other, but there's two different, one has a staircase in it and one doesn't.
Can you see that? Quite a,
Here's some,
quite a sugar.
What, are you two in church or something?
Yeah. Yeah, right home.
I think they're all the same. I don't know, I hope so.
Where's the basement?
Maybe, Brian, here's
Second floor.
another copy if you'd like. Is that- I think enough?
You got ground and
Just
second.
gonna- Give some ideas. Thank you.
Yeah.
These are wing walls.
Fucking set of stairs. What if it's just maybe or
Yeah, you did.
Right.
So this is good. You want those stairs?
Gotta have
It's code. Can't be code.
it. So many.
They have to have the stairs or no?
No,
This
they
one
don't.
doesn't, this one doesn't have
Doesn't have to have stairs, they included them just in case. The stairs to the outside.
Back to the handicap.
But where will she, will she be here, so she could be there?
Not a heck of a lot of difference, is there? Other than the stairs and the way.
Those, that's the only difference.
Bottom,
6'6"
maybe all the stairs.
Just the distance right here.
This front?
Right.
This is the front, right?
Yeah, this is the front.
Well, that kid, what the hell? Why would you want to change? But the second floor, look at the second floor. You get in here, right? There's a big building. Okay, why would you do that?
What's the,
So this must be just for the judge?
What?
Well, it's gonna be two, I think, there's supposed to be one on the lower side of the bottom.
No, see right here, the first floor, the second floor, for the judge.
Oh, they were in the
Yeah,
Judge.
right behind the judge. You don't want that.
what are you talking about?
The stairs, go up the stairs on the outside and you boom, there's a court, attorneys, clerk, witness.
I think the only purpose behind the stairs really
For Gary to get out quick.
is, well, yeah, that's,
And
but
first,
the other part is if it's not to be utilized during court, it is to be utilized for like.
voting or something.
Yes. Voting or like, if we have a public, like we have a town board and Sonia's working at her office, she comes up for, you see what I'm saying? That way she doesn't have to walk around the outside, she can just step outside, come up the stairs and be a part of the meeting.
What's it, is he giving cost differences here?
What about this big space down that you
I
have,
guess
the
that's all.
court clerk's office?
30 that way.
You know, there's quite a big space here that the judge wouldn't be able to see if he's
3011, that's the same.
Oh.
sitting, you know, over in that
Where,
corner.
this area right here?
Yeah,
Because
Yeah,
this
I don't-
staircase is an addition to the whole plant, they're still gonna come out
Just some way to,
with their 10 foot or whatever. That stairs is a complete, it's another addition.
What is that for voting, or do you create more real
Yeah,
estate for
there's
that?
more real estate
I
for
think it's
voting.
30 by
well,
40.
yeah, basically, more room, there's no doubt.
And that's what the double enter and
With
exit
this
for is
notch
too,
out of it.
is flow of traffic for voting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Six, that's more than we got here.
Oh, yeah. And you got room for more there if you had to.
What's that?
Looks great, build up.
But I mean, for me, at least, I was judge, I wouldn't have really given a damn what was going on over here as long as they weren't being loud and disruptive, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
but you can't visually see it either and know what's going on, whether noisy or not. My
Of
concern.
course, they can't see out in the hallway up here either.
We just put a mirror right here, in the back.
Well, I would surely hope that COs that got the prisoners locked to the bench
Right.
Okay, yeah.
might have an influence on that,
That's true.
But he's got an escape road and stairs.
you know?
Could it be reversed? Reverse everything. Put the judge on that, but he wants the landing on his end.
Well, I think the big thing is like, the setup for like this is so that when they get done, when they come up and they get done, they can come up, pay your clerk and make their way out. So it's, and plus the clerk can hear what the judge, so that way she can be punching everything in on what the decision is, what they plead guilty to, what the fine and surcharge is. And then when they come up to her, she can make it and send them on their way, plus they'll start the next case. And that's the purpose behind it, is to make it so people can flow back out, and Jan can do her job as well as keep court moving.
Might work good for flow for election too.
Yeah, I mean, that's
The way
what I
they're
think
setting
would
that
be,
up, you could make it so, well, you could make it so most people come in one way and out the other, but the only one way is gonna be handicap, it looks like. That might be an
and
issue.
having it wider like that, it would, I think, make it big enough that if everyone wanted to come in and out of there, you know, you still could. I mean, I stopped and looked at it, opened up the way it is, you know, you could put District 1, 2, and 3, and people could easily get to where, you know, we come in here, you kinda got a bottleneck around it.
It'd be nice to spread the voting booths out a little bit too,
Yeah.
they're too close.
It's only 10. This is 11 feet. This is 20 across here.
This is a,
Yeah,
But
Yeah, that's
the
right.
amount that you can see is only
it's
10
being
feet.
a school. And to be honest with you, there were spots where
Two by
you go
12s on
over
top
this,
of your concrete, right?
everything that was going on in the waiting room and down the hallway, you was out.
You're gonna have a 2 by 12, you know, floor joists and stuff.
how did they use?
So then you'll have, you can't really backfill into the floor joists, you're getting
If,
slope into the building without having a ramp and all that.
court stenographer.
They're looking like almost a
They
3 foot
sit there
rise up
or
to the
somewhere's
building
nearby,
level,
and they keep,
I think is what they're
The
talking about.
minutes.
yeah.
But you can build anything
Jan
out there for
wanted
your
to,
ramp,
she could see
easy
her
enough.
problem.
Right.
The main
Right.
purpose behind it is having,
Yeah,
you
they're-
have a.
Your ramps have to be so big now. it'd be
But we couldn't build it up,
And you have
You
to
probably
have a
could.
stenographer,
I mean,
You probably could, so.
Yeah.
we had to pay to have it. They
I
have.
mean, that'd be the ideal thing, I would
It's
think do
amazing
away
what
with
they
ramps,
do.
you gotta come right into the
They
building
keep,
without
they keep right
ramp
up,
or,
everything's
I
cool.
think accessibility would be so much easier,
It's not a typewriter, it's a different,
but I'm not sure.
they
Looks
just,
like an adding machine, really.
yeah.
Because you wanna put your floor joists on top of the wall.
They got all the fingers too,
You
don't
know,
they?
they did it.
Whether you could use treated lumber or something to backfill up against,
Electrician, Trevor.
so you wouldn't have just a short,
His wife.
6-inch lift instead of, they're talking probably 3 foot.
You could put something in there.
I'm sure they've got, if you just pressure treated and put some kind of a
Put a
barrier.
membrane right around it, so water can't.
Just, I mean, because there's lots of, I think Phil, to build that area up to meet that, instead of having the ramp.
Then if all your doors upstairs are, or at least two of them are handicapped, you know.
Right, they're already handicap accessible, it's just a little slope into it in there.
Oh, yeah, it's
Oh, once she's
amazing.
tight.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's,
Different
and
way.
it's, this is what we've gotta
it's amazing.
work our way through, see what we like, what we don't like, and
So that's how
what,
it
could
goes.
we do this?
That's weird,
So,
my kind of spelling.
so they put
When
a,
will they have some costs for this or estimates? Have they worked on
they
that?
haven't, I don't think they've got anything on cost, because they really don't know what we want.
Right.
That's-
So you guys say this is it,
Right.
they're wasting
I
their
think-
How do you decide without knowing what it costs?
I mean, they could, I'm sure, give us rough ideas, but I
Right.
think that, I'm thinking that it would be nice to get something so that we could put bids out, so come springtime.
Right. Well, as I was saying before, I think it's very important for us to get the frost wall put in this fall, because that's what's gonna hold up in the spring. You don't get that frost wall in, get it set, and cured, and everything else, you're gonna be waiting how long before you can start building?
Right.
This way, if you get the frost wall in this fall, the cure, and then in the spring, when the weather breaks, you should be able to start. And the other side of it is, I know they were talking breaking the floor out, but if we've got all this ceiling height,
I wouldn't do that. I would just pour another layer on top of it, if it works with the entrance.
right, I mean, you can, because we got, I think we can move dirt around easier than we can, cheaper than we can tear out a foot of concrete or whatever and re-pour and all this stuff.
Well, do you have to tear it out?
Well, I'm
I
just,
mean, they have floors now that you can put the gradient
Well, that's what I
right in
mean.
the floor, and not even pour new concrete,
Right.
just do like a wood floor.
right, well, that's what I'm saying here, even if you could pour a new 6-inch floor on it, you know, but that's what Jamie come in and said, you know, we can do it within a 6 foot. Or 6 inch, I'm sorry, barrier, so, you know, you put your, you know.
It
heat
makes a
barrier
step
and
for
stuff.
entranceway, but if
You can
if there's
bring
nothing
fill
restricting
around,
that, we could put fill in and,
bring that up,
right.
cheaper
Well,
than
you
what we
just-
can tear everything out.
Just
Pour
concrete your apron,
concrete
just
and-
come on out with your
Right.
concrete and then just bring your dirt to
What
it.
is it, 1 inch on every foot, so you come out 6 foot, so what?
Right.
I think that's what code is, 1 inch on every foot, so
Could
you'd have to come out 6 foot.
Right, but see, you gotta have your frost wall first, and then you come off of that,
Well, you're building a frost wall, keep that up,
Right.
and then
right, and don't come to it.
Right.
I mean, that's what,
Or,
Floor.
I would think that is, you could almost do it, you know, inside, you could put the concrete and the heat lines, and everything in there, this, you know, this fall even, before it cools off too much. But the main thing is the frost wall in front, get that in, so it's got time to cure and set, and that way in the spring, you can go right at it, I think. But, and I'm not sure who you call for the frost wall. Yeah.
We have to bid it
Put it
out.
out to bid, so.
Yeah.
You call the engineer and they'll get the specs.
They'll write it up and you
Bid it
put it in the
out.
paper.
No, I mean, I think that'd be the very important thing to get going, get that done, because we do want to come out 8 feet. So
I
we're
just
gonna-
wanna warn you that until the CHIPS money comes in, funds are gonna be tight.
Tight.
After they come in, we'll be, right now,
Yeah, right now, things are tight for the next 45 days, things are tight, yep. Yep. Okay,
Tell them we will give them down payment, pay the rest of them after the 1st of January.
it won't be until probably the 20th of December
right.
before,
Well, I guess the first thing we gotta do is get a bid out, you know, get specs out and
right?
get it bid.
Then we don't have a meeting until January then anyways,
Right.
so.
Because they gotta be out for one, how many days? Week, it's gotta be out for bid.
Right, for bids and stuff. May not have anybody who wants to do it.
Yeah, that's the other part, how many people are trying to finish up what they've committed to.
Oh, they'll
already.
do it, but
Well,
the
try
price will be
Put
out.
that in and keep that warm you know, and
Right.
stuff being added cost.
Right.
Might be better just to push it
Wait.
until spring. You gotta worry quite as much about that.
Right.
It's
Well, it's,
what the concrete's gotta set, well, if it was load bearing, it's what, 28 days? So,
well, I guess first thing is get hold of Bell Engineer and see them if they can get figures on a frost wall.
Well, what you guys first gotta do is decide, is this what you want, so they can
yeah,
move ahead with their
Forward.
figures set.
Well, the floor plan has got some variables in it. The frost wall is what we've gotta get in. That's a,
where's that gotta go?
that'll go 8 feet out and across the front.
Okay,
Because we're gonna gain 300 and some square feet on each level.
Which is the concern to have the voting up there, right?
Well, it adds space to both the bottom and upstairs.
Right, but I mean, that's the big concern.
Well,
is-
add more space, reason,
Well, the one was even smaller than this room without it,
right,
the one plan up there.
Right.
right.
If
But
you're gonna
that's
have
what
your
I'm saying
meetings
is-
there, you can't, I
is-
mean,
Prior to that, if we weren't gonna worry about future issues, we'd have plenty of space where we are, but if we wanna move the voting up there and other future possibilities, it's foolish not to,
Oh, I
really.
agree, I agree. We
Make
gotta-
well,
Just
just
as
the way
big
they
as
got
you
all the
can make
battle
it.
boxes and everything set up now, this is pretty crowded in here,
Oh, yeah,
you
oh,
know,
yeah.
Right,
it's not.
where
Right.
we,
well, we never used to have three,
Right.
until, you know, last, you know, what, 5, 10 years.
right.
Yeah, everything's much
Simpler with the machines,
But,
do one over there, one up there. You didn't have all that stuff down the middle.
Right.
but I think the first thing we should look into is the frost wall, and get that priced out and see if it's viable for this fall.
Yep.
If it isn't, then we got all winter to,
Put this on everything.
but the frost wall is one,
But I think,
that's
I
gonna be
think
the
the
first thing we
extension
gotta
of
do.
space is, no matter, I mean, no matter what, I mean, we gotta do something.
Yes.
Are these stairs inside then?
I think they're outside.
Complete.
They're outside, but I
Complete.
think with the roof over.
Right, they're covered, but I think it's a complete
Exterior.
addition to the
Right,
rest
there's
of it.
exterior stairs with a roof over them. There's a plan with and a plan without, as I recall.
This shows them enclosed.
Yeah, that's what it looks like they're inside.
But, yeah, they're enclosed, but they're not part of this footprint of the building. It's in addition to the,
Right.
it's even in addition to your extra apron, right?
Yeah,
And
It's beyond that apron. Well, half of it is.
Half of it.
half of it is, half of it
Half
isn't.
of it is, right. So I don't know, what do you gotta do do you have to do more footers outside?
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Right,
is-
wouldn't you? So you almost gotta decide whether you're gonna do those stairs or not before you do your footer.
Yeah,
I think probably the stair is a good idea.
I think in the long run, I think it's, for what little the investment is, I think it's a smart move.
I have to admit, I'm surprised that there's only one door in the basement.
only one exit.
Yeah, I don't see how that could pass a fire code, but
Do they have to add
They're engineers, I'm
windows to
not.
all the offices to make them fire escape, I guess?
Regress.
the windows that are there now certainly aren't.
Well, there's only, one office wouldn't have windows, because the other two are open to the outside. They do have windows.
But then, if you're trying to make those fire escape windows, you're not gonna fill it in with more dirt.
Well, sure, yeah.
stairs are.
That's, I mean,
Unless it's prepared.
I just question that one exit thing.
And the stairs were held up, they will be in that office. This one could have one. That one don't.
The office probably wouldn't
This
have
one
one.
don't.
That's almost a second escape though.
The
Well, this is
window-
all, this,
Well, this
These
is
these
one
stairs,
office.
if you
These
include
stairs
the
are enclosed.
If you include the stairs, that's an exit.
The stairs are enclosed. They're not
Half
open.
of them are, well, by
Except
the
they're right
building.
next to each other, right?
The other's
Right, but-
got an extension out over it.
Really? Cause it's got a door to go out on that landing.
No,
If
right.
it wasn't
what I'm-
enclosed, it would be.
No, I mean, they're all under cover, Jeff, what I'm saying that they're only taking up a portion of the existing structure,
Right, right.
you know?
But if you didn't have the doorway to the landing to come into there, you wouldn't be taking anything out of the office. Now, the stairs would be outside, but see, this is all under the same roof.
Right.
The doorway to come out, so it's all gonna be
This is the
enclosed.
wall, so the whole thing is out. Not here.
Right, but see, you got a landing with a door that gets out there.
See, this is the apron that sticks out, and this is the upstairs.
Of course, that's in the lobby.
Upstairs floor.
Put it
It
over
sticks
here.
out this far. You see what I'm saying? Upstairs sticks out past here.
Oh, so it's like an overhang.
Right. And this is the only thing that sticks out beyond the upstairs
Okay.
overhang.
But the build off of I'm assuming that this is all for.
I mean, yes, this is the downstairs original basement, but the upstairs is here. Because that's what the apron's for. That's to get us that much further out upstairs.
And this is new, right? This is original here. So they added this.
Right, exactly, right, that's part, yes.
Well, I've heard rumor about the legal matter that has been somewhat settled or offered or something. Somebody wants me to call her. The judge wants me to call her.
Oh, no.
But
I'd ask what this print with the stairs would, rough estimate on this one.
I can try calling John and see if he'll come down.
see, the frost wall has to be put out, you know.
I have no idea if
How
he's
far does the
functioning
frost
or not.
wall have to go?
Well, I mean.
Under the
doesn't have
stairs
to be
or out where the
tonight,
stairs
but
are or not, or whatever.
Assuming not prepared to give
And
an
if the
estimate
stairs
on the
are
whole job
enclosed
yet.
or if they're
No,
not.
I'm just saying any question you have on those things and
Yeah.
makeups and.
Yep.
I think these can be expensive.
Probably,
It's pretty,
probably,
really.
probably.
Well, does that qualify as an exit, the stairways or not?
They're so close together, I don't know if that real, I mean, they're right on the same wall, right next to each other. I'm not a code officer, but I don't know, I
They
mean,
wouldn't offer these prints if
you
they
would
weren't
think,
up to.
I wouldn't think they would, but to me, if I was, I mean, to me, it's a fire hazard, that's just how I feel. You're in
I
a
want the
cellar,
front office.
you're in a cellar, and if the fire breaks out between you and the door, the one and only door, you're not getting out a window. Not the current windows, unless they're changing those windows.
And yet the stairs are right next to the doors that you're coming out of anyway, so what advantage is there
Yeah, it's all
there?
in the same hallway.
I mean,
I would think they'd have to put some sort of windows in each one of those offices or
and that may be why they don't, maybe that's why they're doing a handicap ramp, because you can't build the dirt up any higher. They may actually be peeling it down some to get windows in lower or something, I don't know. I really don't know.
Easy to find everybody.
You're probably gonna have to make it handicap accessible from the first floor, at least a sidewalk around to get back upstairs. I mean, if you have somebody other than sign, if somebody's in a wheelchair for a town clerk.
It might be me.
It could be,
I mean, realistically, you don't have to have stairs at all.
no, we just have to make it accessible so we can get around, so whether it's
With you,
paved gradually or.
well, that's what you got the parking lot for.
Maybe get a side by side so they can ride up to the upper level.
Or just
Golf
get a
cart.
car and drive.
Just something to
Maybe
think
someone
about.
will donate a golf cart for you, you can
Right,
ride
that's
from
right.
downstairs, like, what do you think?
Shuttle service.
My time now.
Well, there's a lot of questions, so.
The basic layout is functional though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter, whenever you build them, they always change. You always, I always think I should have done this.
Yeah,
Boys could be bigger, but.
it's true.
That's right, you never make it big enough, but this, by adding the 8 feet on the front, that's gonna increase the footage.
Does the judge think it's acceptable?
I don't know if Gary's even seen it.
I don't think it really matters. If he doesn't like it, he can leave and we'll get a hire new one.
It's gonna be a vast improvement.
Really? I mean, I worked out of this, then I worked at what it was, and if I had something like this, I'd be jumping. You know, there's people that deal with a lot worse than that in home court.
Wasn't there some rules though, if you're building a new one?
It's square footage.
I thought it was 600 square foot, which this is
Well,
After that,
probably 12,
After that,
1,300
there's-
square feet.
heavily recommendations.
Well, it depends on whether you take their money or not. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
If you're
You
gonna
gotta have a
take
prisoner
the
bench.
justice
See it
grants,
right here.
then you're gonna
You know, stuff like
do it
that.
their way.
And security is always down the road, there's no doubt.
I know one of the big things is, which is included in this, is that prisoner's bench. That was something that
Right.
was a big deal to the state, you know, so.
What are these?
Have you talked with our code guy to see,
Pardon?
have you talked with our
I
code
haven't,
guy?
I have talked to him, but not actually about this. You know, yeah, Mark Jacobs.
I mean, we only just got these minutes before I got here.
Right. And the only thing I would like to see is maybe turn the judge's office and the clerk's office, you know, so they're not so far out in the court. You gotta give more space in the courtroom, voting and whatever.
Yeah, I think they wanted,
What are you gonna forfeit?
they wanted the clerk, I think, there on the corner, so they catch them going out.
Well, she could still be on that
If
side.
you turn it, then you're gonna lose your double doors, or you gotta move your bathroom or your
Yeah, you gotta move something
If you
around.
turn it, it's gonna take up more room the other way.
Mhm.
So something's gotta give on that wall then.
I mean, if you slide the attorneys over here and slide the bath up, then you could do that. Turn it this way, slide the attorney and the bath next to each other like that. Keep your double doors more
But
in the very
you
center.
also, you know, you could shorten them up a little bit. I'm thinking, you know, get square footage is the same, because actually, right now, you've got 2 doorways, there's, almost 4 foot of waste space on the outside the building.
If you do this,
If you turn this thing around the way it is right now, you basically got what you got here. You got that one door coming off the landing, which is that. And then this double door thing turned, it's pretty much what that is. It just, so you could actually turn all the chairs and stuff right.
Yeah, but you gotta have room for all this.
This is it.
There's an awful lot to this, doesn't it make sense to have Delaware engineering here, maybe when we're thinking about this stuff? I mean, they designed it, so there may be reasons that we're not, I'm not aware of, as to why it was set up the way it's set up. So we can say what we want, I just mean this constructively, but they may say, no, you can't do that for whatever reason. That's why we had them do these plans up.
Nope. I don't believe it's there.
I think Frank would
I mean, I'd highlight any ideas we had and then put them through them.
get a price for that.
Cause I think you could move, if you wanted to do that, you could move the bath over here, put the door out to the attorneys, spin this like this,
We got
have the clerk, slide your doors right here, and you could basically have the same thing, you would gain this
This.
more square, make it larger.
More usable space.
Move your bathroom here,
Right.
Over here. I
the
mean,
attorney's conference room is over here.
or have the bathroom in the corner, have the conference room.
Yeah, either way, yeah,
Either way,
yeah.
move your doorway down and turn these two offices.
Spin them around if you wanted to, you might, I mean, I'm not sure.
You got a
I know
4 by,
there's certain specs on office
Right.
space that, you know, if we had to forfeit a foot on Jan's office, maybe we could, as long as it's acceptable.
Then you gotta move the downstairs bathroom.
we're both on the opposite goddamn wall with septic.
Well, I know, but
That works all kinds of sense. to me.
normally you put them in line with each other.
I don't think the upstairs is as big as a concern as the downstairs is, as far as they mentioned that handicap, except, I mean, the fire issue.
Right, fire issues, right, another thing. But even if you had up here on, for the judge's office and the clerk, if you turned them, just to open the, you know, you could gain 6 feet on the courtroom, I would think. As you said, Donnie, move maybe the bath and.
I mean, I know that the storage is something we can always use, but it's, I guess.
Storage doesn't have to have,
It's
a way
kind
to
of
get
like
out.
I'm thinking, kind of from like Dwight says, everything's going electronic. Eventually someday we're going to be more, I mean,
Right.
there's certain hard files you have to keep no matter what.
right, right.
But we could reduce a lot of our storage space, and if we need to make an exit, we really could. I mean, we could change things some ways that have to like, create like a dug tunnel or something, you know what I'm saying? If you have to have 2 exits and 3 of our walls are against dirt,
Well, I don't know that you do, but
you don't
If we
have,
did, they would
you
have
don't
done
have
it.
an option other than digging a tunnel.
Oh, yeah, I don't disagree with that.
well, you may wanna look into what the footer's gonna cost and all that floor is gonna cost, and then weigh that against
Yeah,
just forgetting this whole foundation and pouring yourself
Not bad.
and put everything on one level
Right.
and see what the cost comparison would be.
We'll see what the cost of the stairway is.
If you had to come out farther out the front, instead of doing a second story, you could stick built everything above. You know, you wouldn't have to have concrete other than your floor and your footer for it to set on.
Right.
Right.
It might be cheaper than a second story.
Then a 2-story building.
Right.
We could keep the basement as security for you and Gary. You can pull it in and
Make a bunker.
Just put drop down seats,
exactly.
set in the seat.
Kind of like the Batmobile, you know?
Heck, you've been watching, you've been watching Doomsday. Too much.
And, you know, probably the biggest thing is, you know, if you're gonna have an office in the cellar, do you have to have a fire escape plan of some way, say for the back office? The front office could have a window to come out. Same
I
with
mean,
the
it's
town
not
clerk.
like you're sleeping in there. I mean,
Right,
I know,
right.
well, they have different rules
You're not
for like
supposed to be in
bedrooms than they have
Yep.
for,
Yeah, right, right.
but
Yep,
one exit on a cellar is, for a public building, a question.
yep.
I'm sure they can answer that.
And there again, you could have a, swing the office, maybe narrower and deeper.
What's that?
So each one has outside, you know, exposure or whatever. That's a whole other, you know, issue. Well, why don't we can take these home and make, make some notes on them and then I can get a hold of Delaware Engineering and see if we can meet.
Be nice to put
Next
it in
week sometime.
perspective too, Jeff. I don't know, it's awful, I mean, like, you see design, breakdown. How's it gonna lay on the land? Where the driveway is, and I haven't seen these
Right.
before, so it's like, okay, where is what? So,
Right.
and then once you start thinking, well, can this happen this way or that way? Again, they may have designed it this way for one reason or another, maybe it's for a code reason or.
Right.
I'm not a
Yeah.
code officer, none of us in here are, so.
And it'd be nice to have footages on the building itself. How big is a clerk's office here? It's 16.3 one way. How deep is it? I've noticed the numbers on that.
Yeah, that's what we've been looking for, we couldn't find.
Just to give us some idea, what is the
What's
existing
the
building?
scale?
What is our scale?
Well,
I mean, what are you dealing with now with your counter on two sides, right? Counter and desk.
Only measurement that's kind of clear is north to south on that, on the courtroom is what, 30 foot or whatever. From the front to the back, that wall, which is longer than this is.
And the width of the foundation is 32, right?
Yeah, 42 by
30 by 42, right?
Right.
So this meeting room this way is 30, and
Well,
then
it'd
to
be
this
plus
point
8.
is 30.
No,
Oh, it'll be 30, right,
Be
because,
38
right,
feet.
be 38.
38
Okay,
by
38
42.
by 30 in that part of the meeting room, but then there's no, can't really get square footage off that without enough.
You take that back 30 foot 11 inches, isn't what this is, it's more like 40.
Right.
Okay, I screwed up. Because inside wall in the parks room is 52.
This has got a scale on it, a big drawing, but you need it more.
I'd make a bunch of notes and ask them,
Right.
about the fire escapes, the footages on all of these rooms, so you know.
It can be turned to
Yep.
what degree.
And I'd like to maybe see a meeting next week. Just to give them what our thoughts are, because then they've got to have time to go back and,
See if you
See-
can
see
backfill
if
it
they can
more
do it, right.
to do away with the ramps and.
right,
just
and stuff like
backfill.
that, because they've got to go back and do that figures. And if we wait
I mean, some
too
of it they're
long.
gonna be able to answer right there, but
Right.
others,
Right,
yes.
I think that'd be the
Plan.
secret to it. So everybody in favor of that, I can call Dave and find out when they can meet next week. And in the meantime, we've got plans, everybody's got basically a set of plans. You can make note of what they scribble in to see what might fit better.
Yep.
And then bring it all together at once, because that's the only way we're gonna,
We do
Go
need those
forward.
plans back though, Jeff.
pardon?
We need those plans back.
Yep, we'll get those plans back, yep. So we've all got small sets, so we
That
can,
way we each got a set, because that's what we made it for.
yep. See, you've got two down there?
Two sets here.
Okay, we've got two sets here.
Plan's got a stop.
Yep, Brandon, yep. So if that's agreement, we'll move on from that. Is there anything else to come before the board? I think Jim's here to discuss something. Lawsuit, yep. So I guess,
I make a motion
we go into executive session to discuss the legal lawsuit factor.
I second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Alright.
Thank you very much.
Have fun.
We're on downhill side of the